Yo, it's Thomas Anthony from FinishBetterMusic.com, and today I'm going to show you every single element that goes into a full and complete mid-tempo bass song. We're going to go over the drums, the bass, the vocals, the leads, the breakdowns, and the effects. And all of these songs come from my latest single, Mad World, which just came out on Enforced Records. I've also included a free mid-tempo sample pack that you can find in the description of this video. Now, before we get in the video, I just want to give a big shout out to one of my mentoring students, Nesso, who has been absolutely slaying it lately. He just signed his latest track to Confessions. He just hit over 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and the song that he made in the mentoring program just hit over 100,000 streams. So he's been absolutely slaying it, and I'm so proud of him. Now, if you're interested in the Finish Better Music mentoring program, there's a link in the description below on how to apply and what the whole program is all about, so check that out below. Okay, let's get into the song, baby. Okay, this is the project for my latest single, Mad World, that came out on Enforced Records, and it's a cover of the Jules Gary song, Mad World, and I used to love this song when I saw the trailer of Gears of War when I was a kid, so I always wanted to make this song or remake it or something like that. So I'm going to talk about the arrangement that I have of the whole project. I'll go through each of these different sections, and then I'll break down what's going on: the drums, the bass, the vocals, and the leads and the melodies. But before we get into this, you can download the sample pack that I made for this song, which has all the sounds, the cool sounds that I found in the song. So I have things like the animals in the background, the bass shots, bells. I also have a chord progression MIDI, clap loop, clocks, fills, hat loop, kicks, the melody, open hats, perk loops, piano progression, shaker loop, and the snaps. So again, this is a free download in the description of the video, so if you want to grab that, there's a link down below. Okay, so let's talk about it. So first things first, there's like, the song is about 4 minutes, so I have this first little bit is just like a little intro, and this is something I use to hook the audience because I wanted them, it's gonna be playing on Spotify, so I wanted people to like hear the melody right off the bat and be like, oh, that's that Mad World song, and then that will cause them to listen to potentially the whole song. So I started off with that, and it starts like this. And then it gets right into the break, and then this is the main verse of the song. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. And then I go straight into a build-up. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very... So usually with these vocally types of songs, I like to break it down to 3 sections. So the first bit will have some sort of singing or melody go off right off the drop, and it'll be like a heavy drop, mostly instrumental. Then after the first like phrase of the drop, it will go into a verse section. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression. And then the third part is kind of like a bridgey part, or I'll start to bring back some instrumentals. Now I'll be talking about the progression of the drums and kind of like the progression of everything. Then I break it down and it just kind of chills the vibe out, have some cool atmosphere, like those sounds I showed you from the past. And then it builds, but it has another verse section. Children waiting for the day they feel good, happy birthday. Then I wanted to keep the breakdown section a little bit longer, so I added the second section in with some trap drums. I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. And then this is technically the build-up. And I reintroduced the melody over top here. And what I did was I did a fake drop here. So I built it all the way up, and then people thought it was going to drop. It's a and I just have one kick there, and I introduce all the drums, or all the bass lines, but I don't actually bring all the drums in it, and I keep the lows cut out of the bass. And then it all crescendos with like the hi-hats in there, and then it's basically rinse and repeat. So let's take a look at the drums. So like the kick that I have in here is just like a pretty solid kick. Just a straight 4/4 kick. The speed is at 110. This song was in F minor. And then the drums on here, I basically have a couple layers of claps. So it sounds like this. Nice, thick, and wide. And you can download this again in the sample pack. But on the one thing I have like a lower clap, then like kind of like a mid clap, and like a higher clap, and all of them together, just a nice thick sound. As you can see, I have some of these faded off here because I didn't want the reverb tail to be going on within the clap. And then here I have just a reverse, and that is the clap group. So that's pretty straightforward. Then as far as hats, I just had a little hat loop going on here. Pretty straightforward. I had just a section cut out here because I didn't like that sound. And then I also added this perk loop, which I thought sounded pretty cool, which is a rim shot. And with all those together, especially with the kick, oops, let's get the kick and the drums. This just gives a nice little rhythm, and as you can see over here, I have this pushed 5 milliseconds to the front, so it's actually pushing it this way 5 milliseconds to give it like a nice little feel. And then I have these ones pushed back a little bit, so it just gives a nice little feel. And then basically, I just have fills going at the ends of the bars, a nice little riser fill. That I have just building up, and then over here I just bring in some shakers. Sounds pretty nice and super duper chill. So that's basically all I have for the drums in the drop section. And then in the breakdown section, I have them. Let's talk about the drop section. So I'll finish off talking about that. So in the drop section, then I made a whole full video on the bass, but basically it's just a bunch of different layers of the bass. And basically what those are is just in the order. Go watch the bass video. It was last week's video breaking everything down. And again, all these shots are in the sample pack. So there is those two. That's the bass and the drop section. Then I have these cool little instrument section over top. So I love using Cashmere's ambience, things like this. So just different things to kind of like swell. And I have a little like shot right there. And I'll play this with the drums, the bass, and the kick. And I was just looking for areas, and it's usually at the ends of the bars where I can add something. And it just kind of flows it in, swells it into the next section. As you can see, I have a horn there at the beginning of the bar. And that's basically what I have. I just put it at the beginning of ends of the bars just to kind of, again, fill out the sounds that are going on throughout the drop. This gives like nice texture and atmosphere. And then at the ends of the bars, so I had at the over here, so like usually at the third section of the bar, like the drop. So in the first section, I don't have anything. Then I like to bring in some like the chords or harmonies. So I just have this sound. It's just a Nexus preset. I just like the rhythm of it. It kind of gave movement to the song. And then from there, I just added on the third section, because I again wanted to add a little bit more melody, was adding this little arp, and then this. It was just playing the hoo, so it was like Mad World. It was just kind of playing that, and when we play all of those together, sounds really, really nice. Now this is also where I introduce this other group section, which is like the melody section. Now I also have a different group with the synths in here, and this is where I kind of have the melody playing as well. So I brought the melody back in. So again, it's just basically playing over top of all the elements of the song. So I start usually with a chord progression, then kind of find out, I actually just took this from the original MIDI of the song, and then played this over top. And I had to change the melody a little bit so that it would go with the song. So like normally it would just go do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then it ended there, and then I kind of just added a little crescendo at the end for having two notes at the end here, so just going up an A and a D, playing them both at the end there, and then basically rinse and repeat for the first and second drops, and that's basically all of the drop. Besides that, I just have a ton of effects going on in here, and they're basically just like sirens, like the siren vocals. They are basically just swells coming in and out of everywhere. Little shots. But basically that, and that's basically it, rinse and repeat. And then things like this. Little magic things going on there, and that's basically all I have going on in with the effects section. And then with the vocals took a long time. I actually went through 3 singers recording this, and it was a process. I'm not really going to get into the vocals that much, but basically I had to like melodize them all, arrange them all, put them in the right timing, and make sure they're right in pitch, and find the best takes. And it's basically just like the progression is like breakdown, build up, chorus, verse, and then instrumental is what's going on there. Now, if we look at the breakdown section, this is kind of like where things got filled out. So I basically started with this piano progression, which was this. It's just the chords of the song. So I had an F minor chord, D sharp minor, and a D major chord. No, D. Oh, they're all minors. No, this one's a major and this is a minor. So I just basically started with that, and then I just started playing with different instruments. Like that's the left hand of this, and then this is up an octave. So I kind of combined both of those. And I like to stagger the piano, at least at the beginning, because it gives a cool sound, like cool feeling towards it. And then I had the breakdown chords, just the bass. I just recorded this back to audio. And I just wanted something subtle for the bass, like nothing too crazy. Then I added a cello in here. And all of that just kind of really compiled on top of each other, along with the piano, which I have in here. And as we can see, the piano starts off like this. It's got a nice rhythm, so I decided to chill it out a little bit for the first one. And then as we get up to the build, you want to get some momentum, and I put it up an octave. So if we listen to all that together. So that all plays nicely together, and then when we get over to here, so I'm really just stacking up the layers on this Mamma Jamma. And then when we get to the second bit here, the breakdown, I actually do add quite a bit of things in here. So I add, like this cello. Add this bell on top for some reason. I was just kind of like layering stuff. I have this exhale vocal thing. This little clock synth. and then just like an arpeggiator to kind of just like build up over top of things. Now, if you want to learn how to like mix something like this down, I do have a free mixing course. It's the Mixing and Mastering Bootcamp, where we show you how to mix down a track from start to finish using only stock plugins. And it's mixed down. I mixed down a song in house genre. But honestly, you can use it for any different genre. Just apply the same principles to any genre. Take a look at this video, explains everything. And basically we teach you how and when to use the right effects, why developing a mixing plan is critical, power gain staging, how to process individual and group sounds, how to get a tight and control low end, and our master and processing chain. So for clear and powerful masters. So this just chock full of value. It really shows like the basics of mixing stuff down. I wish I had something like this when I started producing. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check this out, because it's super duper useful. But if you want to also like go deeper and like get one-on-one help with all of this stuff, like me showing you exactly like when and where you should do stuff, what mistakes you're making with all your production, you can head over to FinishBetterMusic.com and check out our mentoring program. You can see what it's all about, all the details of it, what our students have accomplished, and how to apply. And if you think that you want one-on-one help from me, you just click apply. You got to fill out this information to give us all the information we need to set up a one-on-one call. And I'll talk about the one-on-one call after I'm done explaining this track. So basically, over here, I have all of these like super duper stacked layers, and I just kept stacking layers. And this does get kind of complicated when it does come to mixing, because there is a lot of stuff to be aware of. But it sounds nice and full and thick. And this part's just breaking down. And then I do have lots of cool effects in here. So I had that like church bell. I also had a clock building up there I thought was kind of cool. I put in this like howling sound. Honestly, no idea why. I just kind of like was sticking sounds in there. But it creates an environment, and you want to put the listener, at least I think, you want to put the listener in some sort of environment. This kind of reminds me of some like post-apocalyptic world. If you ever played the game The Last of Us, something like that, where they're like, everything's kind of like destroyed, but there's still like green stuff everywhere. People are still kind of living. So it kind of reminded me of something like that. And then I start building it up again.
Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Sit and listen, sit and listen.
And then in here, I just added some trap drums over here to get the ball rolling.
They're kind of sad. The dreams are with circles. It's a very, very.
And then it basically just builds up again. So I hope you got something from this. I really put a lot into this. There was clearly a ton of layers and a ton of everything into this. I really put my heart and soul, especially recording the vocals. So I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to check out the songs on Spotify right now. But like I was saying before, if you want one-on-one help from me composing a song, you can go check out my Spotify, see if you resonate with any of the songs that I'm putting out there. I really make tech house and like pretty house, but I can help you with any kind of genres. But yeah, definitely go if you want help. Check out with the mentoring program. I'd advise you to do your due diligence, check out the other programs out there, and see if we're a good fit. That's why there's lots of teachers out there. And also, if you want to get the one-on-one call, just sign up, give us all that information so we can set up a free call. And on that call, provide you with personalized feedback on one of your songs. So you get feedback from me on one of your songs, analyze your production methods, and define any areas that you need improvement. We'll answer any one of your questions about music production or the mentoring program, and we'll provide you with a custom blueprint to help you finish better music. So whether we choose to work together or not, you will still have a plan of action of what to do next. The reason I like to do these calls is because I like to see if the people are a right fit for the program. I want hardworking, badass mofos to be part of the program, and if that sounds like you, then we'll be all good and probably work together. So I hope this has helped. Go download this pack. It's 100% for free. Go check out the free Mixing and Mastering Bootcamp if you want help getting your mixes and masters sounding better. And yeah, if you want to just come say hi or anything, hit me up on Instagram at It's Tom Anthony. I answer all my DMs, and would love to hear from you. And yeah, hope you got some of this. Okay, till next week. Peace.
Hey guys, my name is Oshin, aka Nesso, and I've just finished the 8-week programs of Tom. And yeah, I just want to say that it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my musical career so far. I've learned so much. I couldn't imagine that when I started, really. And yeah, Tom really give his best to help you reaching your goal. And there's a ton of way of doing it, but having a mentor is really one of the best thing, the best solution to reach that specific goals. You can actually spend your money on a lot of things like studio equipment and just think like, oh, I need this crazy studio in order to make good quality music. But before having a crazy studio, you actually have to have a professional good quality music first. And don't wait to have your studio or whatever. Make sure that your music is professional first, and then you can consider having like a great studio or something, of course. Like to me, spending my money on knowledge, it has been really the best thing I could do. Now because of the program, I have like new banging tracks ready to be released, and I did all that with just my laptop and my headphone. And since I'm currently living in Ireland, I don't have like my bedroom studio here. So, but at the end of the day, you don't really need it like to make good music. You can just like make really good music with just like basic stuff. Yeah, and I couldn't be happier really to reach that level I wanted I wanted to reach. So if you're a music producer who struggle with something related to music production, don't wait until it's too late. Think about now and really guys, go ahead with this program. You really won't regret it. Yeah, I improve in so many ways in my musical journey. This is really the best program out there and there's no question about it. So yeah, Toms, I really want to thank you again for all what you've done for me in this program. I'm so grateful, of course, to have found it. We just need more person like you in this music industry. It's such a tough industry sometimes, but having you as a mentor really did change everything. And I'm really happy that I can call you my homie after this program. I've learned so much, but not just that, I also met a really great person. So Tom again, thank you. Peace out. Bye guys.